Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome to the Mitch YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about Willie Nelson's Wall by Vincent Emerson. He's a really awesome country artist out there. If you don't know him, you should definitely go check him out. And there's a lot of great guitar work on his albums. This album in particular has a lot of good stuff. So this solo is really fun. It's short, so I don't think I need to do a crazy amount of explaining here. I am going to tell you a few things, but mostly this is going to be a play-along video. What do I mean by that? You're going to get a chance to play along with me at 60 BPM. You'll see the tabs up on the screen. Then you're going to get a chance to play it with me at the album tempo, 109. And then I'm going to turn you guys loose, and you're going to be able to, play along with the track yourself. So the slow track is pretty short. You'll really have one shot at grabbing it, and it's a simple track. I'm just giving you a little rhythm guitar. But the second track is a little bit longer, so you'll be able to run it a couple times. So I'm going to timestamp all that stuff down below, so you're going to be able to navigate to it really quickly. But first, let's talk about what's going on here a little bit. But do me a favor, and if you haven't already, click like and subscribe. It does help me out and lets me keep making these videos. So, okay, this is in D flat. We're playing this solo over the chorus progression, which, just a little tip if you're new to country music, that's pretty often the case. So we go 1, flat 3, which is F7. So we go from D flat. We go from I always forget to turn that on. Anyway, we go from D flat to F7. And then we're going to do a 6, dominant 6 chord, dominant 2 chord, 5 chord, 1, 5, back to 1. So I said, it goes from D flat to the flat 3 chord. That is true. You can think of it like that, but in reality, it's more like a 5 of 6. So in other words, it's like a secondary dominant. Secondary dominant is a chord that is borrowed from another key, but is functioning as a dominant to the chord you're looking at. In this case, B flat. And then it's like basically a 6-2-5-1, which is a very common progression. They just, go ahead here and make everything dominant instead of having a minor 2 and 6 chord. They're dominant, which is like a pretty common blues thing. So with that in mind, we kind of have 1. Oh, there it is. You gotta plug the damn thing in. I didn't turn it on. I didn't plug it in. I just clicked play. I wasn't ready at all. Anyway, okay. So now we have 5 of 6, dominant 6, dominant 2, dominant 5, 1, 5, 1. Pretty simple. This guitar solo is pretty cool. So it pretty much is entirely in the D flat major scale. Well, it is entirely in the D flat major scale. I don't think there's a single note. I don't think there's a single note outside of the scale. So it really is just a major scale. What I think is most interesting about this solo is that it is well intentioned in where it uses the major scale and how it uses it. So what do I mean by that? So let's take a look at the first bar. D flat to F7, right? We start off just B flat minor pentatonic, which is what I would expect over a D flat major chord. What we shouldn't overlook is what's happening when we get to that F7, which is this, right? But that note is a flat 9 there. And I think that's really contributing to the to the essence of this song, because you're actually like, he's playing a D flat major scale, right? But he's actually kind of giving you a half whole scale there over that F, which is F. A half whole scale would be F, G flat, A, B, C, D, E flat. So it's kind of, it's hinting at that, and I think that's a really cool use of that, and I think it's part of what gives this solo the color that draws your ear in and makes you want to play it. Why am I pointing that out? I'm pointing that out because I think it's really important to understand how each note feels against your root. So, you know, it's really simple to look at this as just, that's just a G flat. Okay, well, that's just the 4 of D flat, you know, whatever. It's just, it would be, you know, when I was a younger player, I would not have thought about that. I would have just, okay, that's just D, whatever. Okay, I'm just in D flat. And I would have thought, okay, I can just solo whatever. But now I hear that what makes a solo really powerful is when somebody is able to control the color or the tensions that you're hearing, right? And I think that the root of getting to that is understanding how something simple like this, how something simple like using just the 4 of the major scale over the secondary dominant gives you an entirely different flavor, you know? You know, that makes that sound. All right, so that wraps that up. I'll stop talking here. I'm going off on some theory stuff now. So you guys enjoy this, have fun with it. Let me know in the comments if you like this style of video or anything I could do to make this better for you guys, because really I'm making these videos to help you guys out. All right, thank you. Take care. We'll see you next time.